All right, folks, today we're doing a little bit of broadhead testing. I think I have 5 or 6 different broadheads. Most of them are G5. I have a Ozcut Hurricane and a Sevr as well, and I think I have a Grim Reaper. We're just gonna throw them on. Today we're just really testing to see how they fly, what the bow likes, and how they are. So we'll probably actually shoot here, probably shoot into the wind here, 30 yards, and just see which ones we can eliminate, because you know we don't want to adjust too much, and which ones that we maybe go with. I would like to have one fixed blade that I know works for sure, and I would like to have one expandable that I know works for sure. So I'll kind of give you a rundown on these broadheads here in just a second once we get finished setting up. First up, I got a Grim Reaper. This is a 100 grain Grim Reaper. If you guys seen these, they're basically like a front deploy. When they hit the animal hide, they all fold back, and that one has been shot. Should all be operating and working fine. I've heard a lot of people really like these. They're really tough broadheads. The main complaint I've heard with them is they lose a lot of energy when they go to deploy. So the force pushing back on those blades makes them so they don't penetrate as well or pass through as well, but that hasn't been my experience. Everything I've ever shot with these is blown right through. So we got the target up there. It's about 28 yards, which is close enough for what we're gonna do today. It is a little bit windy, and I don't wanna, it is kind of actually a lousy day to do this because I don't wanna end up all over the map shooting arrows, and then I don't know whether to blame the broadhead or what, but it's realistic hunting conditions, maybe 8 to 10 mile an hour winds, and we'll kind of just see what they do. First up, Grim Reaper. Looks like about 3 or 4 inches low. So next up, I'm gonna shoot this BMP. So this actually is machined to mimic these G5 dead meats. So you don't have to actually practice with your broadhead. So that's the BMP, it's machined. They kind of have like a snap lock system on it that retains the blades. Then when it opens, they pop out of that ring. They have an 1.5 inch cutting diameter, so these are the 100 grades. And then I also have the Mega Meats, and they have the same BMP, like the same tip to imitate it. So we're gonna shoot just this tip that imitates these broadheads, but these are the same basic idea as a dead meat, but they have a 2-inch cut. I've seen a lot of guys kill whitetails and stuff. I have a few buddies that swear by these. My one buddy says he's gonna use them on elk this year, so. Right next to the Grim Reaper. Almost too close for comfort. So as you saw, these were both a little bit low, but both about maybe 2.5 inches low of where I was aiming, and they were about that close together. Both pulled out really easy. That's the best thing about this Grim Reaper, is how easy it pulls out of the target. But I mean, it flew pretty much identically for what we're doing today. So I guess I should send a field tip too, kind of as a control, so we know what we're dealing with as far as like where my bow's shooting a field tip at this range. So I have it down for 25, and it's more like 28, so that's probably why we're hitting a little low, but I'll send a field tip here just for reference. So field tip pretty much same, a little bit low. There's the popo. People always ask me if it's illegal to do this here. I have no idea, but there's a cop. He doesn't seem to care. He's actually my buddy. So those look good. Honestly, I would shoot either one of those. They're shooting the same as the field point at 30, so I feel comfortable moving into the tweaking phases on either one of those. I feel like they're gonna shoot comparable. Obviously, this is just kind of like a early test to weed out the flyers and the stuff that the bow doesn't like. Before we hunt, we'll test broadheads out to, I shoot them at least to 60 yards, 60 or 70, and just to see if they're doing anything weird. As long as I'm getting good consistency out of them, then I'll hunt with them. So I'm gonna pull off this Grim Reaper and swap it out for a fixed blade. G5s, they always come with the Band-Aid. It cracks me up. It's like they know too well, right? So these are the Strikers. These are the V2s. And I don't know if they bought the patent or if they just started building them, but they're basically identical to the old Wacom broadheads. And I was a huge fan of the Wacoms back in the day. And I really like the feel of this broadhead from G5. I feel like it's gonna be pretty tough. They do have to be held together with that ring there, so as you're like putting them together, the blades can fall out if you don't hold them kind of in place. And that's the purpose of this piece that they come with here, is so you can screw it in there it holds it all together. So what it is basically is 3 pieces. It has a machined tip, and it has obviously this is, I think this is called your ferrule, I don't know the terminology, but this is machined as well. Then it has the ring here at the bottom, and the blades lock behind this ring and behind the head basically, and the whole system kind of holds itself together. Just a foolproof type broadhead, because what can go wrong with a neat little bacon Skinner fixed blade. G5 Striker V2, about 28 yards here. Way low, like about 6 inches low where I was aiming. I'm gonna pull that one and shoot it again and see if I did something weird or if that's where that one flies. Same exact spot. So about 3 to 3.5 inches lower than those last ones. So that's interesting. Dead on left to right with the other stuff, but lower. So next up, I'm gonna throw on the Striker 4-blade, which is a 4-blade version of that. Then we'll shoot the M3s, the new Montex. These things are wicked looking. I think I'm gonna need this Band-Aid maybe. But just a mean looking broadhead out to ruin somebody's day. It's all one piece, this one. Has no vents. Just a matter of how she flies now. Same as that Striker, same exact spot. Dead on left to right, but low. So I felt pretty good about that shot, so I'm confident saying that's where that one's shooting, but consistently low. And it's been low on, so far, all fixed blades. So it's time to throw in, let's see, what do we got left? An Oz Cut, we got a, yeah, I guess we got a Striker 4-blade too that we can try out. I have a theory about where it's gonna hit. It's touching the side of my rest, my vapor trail. Same story, exact same spot. Like, these are seriously chunking up the same hole on my target. So they're definitely consistent. Just for what I'm sighted into, the field points, they're just low. But my field point was low there too, so I'm only really about 3 inches lower than field points, while the expandables were right with my field points. So I wanted to show you guys about these fixed blades. Like, all the expandables are right here grouped, and then all the fixed blades were right here touching. So these are the Sevrs, these are the 1.5s. And the Sevrs are interesting because they're a front deploy, kind of. They have these tabs on the front so that when they hit, it pushes out. And then it has a band right there on the back that holds it shut. And these pop out and cut that band. So if you want to shoot them in practice mode, you actually can put a screw that they give you, a set screw, in right there. And then you can shoot, then you actually take the band off and shoot as much as you want, like you would with a field tip or whatever. And then when you're ready to hunt, you just got to remember to pull that practice screw out and put your band back on. So they work pretty good. I shot them a little last year, just kind of messing around. And we're gonna put a set screw in this one and send it. I predict that it'll group with the other expandables. And then it actually comes with a little thing that you can hold this broadhead with, so you don't have to touch these sharp parts and stuff. Come in this nice little case, tuck them all in, put your Allen wrench in there so you don't lose it. So right there with the other ones, maybe a touch higher, but same general bottom of the circle. And then this is a Oz Cut, and this is a 125 grain broadhead, so we could be really low. But in the past, my bows have really liked these. They've shot pretty much the same field tips for me. So we'll see if this one does or not. I'm gonna shoot the target on the right here. Woo! You guys see that? That went about 6 inches right through the side of the target. Huh, I'm gonna see if I can find that one and shoot it again. If that was me, I held that draw a little bit long, but shouldn't have been that far off. All right, let's try the Oz Cut again. I sliced my cover in half off my target. So left once again and low. So maybe that first one I did just yank it. I'm gonna shoot that one again because I gotta know. Same exact spot as last time, low left. So I think a lot of it is just how much you want to mess with it. Like, I feel like I could get any of these broadheads to group and I could adjust my sights to shoot any of them, but I think I'll just probably shoot the dead meats or the Severs just because of the ease of shooting them, and they're both flying really good. This is that BMP again, that's a dead meat. So just to see if maybe my shooting went to crap. Pretty dang good. A little bit left. Not terrible. What else should I shoot? I got right here in front. Oh, that was a field tip. Now I'll shoot this BMP. My arms are getting a little tired. Not bad. Where'd that go?
Right next to your
Right next to my field tip?
It's touching it.
Well, I guess that's where we're at. So I know I pull a little left when my arms get tired, so it could be that. All right, folks, so this is my final analysis. This bow seems like it shoots all fixed blades a little bit low, and it grouped all the expandables together with my broadheads. The best shot of the day was the Sevr. I just pinwheeled exactly where I was aiming. All the G5 with the BMPs, they all grouped right together with my field tip. I'm gonna do another video at some point, probably shooting the actual broadhead versus the BMP, or to see if it actually does shoot the same as that. And if it does, I think I'll end up hunting probably with the G5s, with the Mega Meats, just because they're made by my homies at Prime. I love those guys. But maybe we'll try that Sevr out too this year. I like the expandables a lot. I think they've come a long ways. If I do need to go to a state where I can't shoot expandables, I have my bow last year all dialed in with the Ozcuts. I mean, it's still shooting them lights out, so I'll probably take that. So that's gonna be my plan for the year, you guys. But I always wanna hear everybody's input on this. So let me know in the comments below what broadhead you're shooting, why you ended up that way, if you're expandable or fixed blade, what your experiences has been, because I'm always curious. So let me know in the comments below, and I think that's gonna do it probably for this broadhead test. We'll still be tinkering with it in the weeks leading up. I mean, I guess we've got about a week left before the hunt, and we want everything fully dialed before we step out into the field to go try to kill anything. So we'll do a little bit more tweaking, but that's probably gonna do it for today.